Hey guys, good evening, and I am so excited to introduce to you my very special guest for tonight, our good friend, Ted Cunningham. Ted, good evening and welcome. It's great to see you again, my friend.
Hey, Barry, I love you and all of First Baptist Dallas, Young Married Life. Love my time I've been with y'all. It's been fun. And now we get to do it virtually through Zoom.
Amen. Hey, man, we miss you. We miss you. We can't wait to have you back. And I just wanted to spend a moment just kind of catching up with you. I know you have probably, or are you getting asked by a lot of people to do these kinds of calls?
It seems the workload's gone up and people have, there've been more requests for this type of stuff, which I love. Anything we can do to help couples.
Yeah.
And not get on planes. There you go. Help couples not get on planes. Those are my two things that I'm loving about this season.
That's the best of two worlds right there.
For sure.
Well, yeah. So I don't know if you remember when you were here, but it was during deer hunting season. Do you remember that? It was during deer hunting season. I didn't know.
I forgot that it was during deer hunting season. It's different in every state. Yeah.
Yeah. So It was during deer hunting season. And
were there frustrated men? Were there men who were mad that they were at a marriage event?
Well, so what was funny about that is that we basically created one of the funniest nicknames for one of our guys ever. You tell the story in one of the sessions about you and your son killing a deer, and you didn't really know what to do with it, and you said there's this adrenaline, this feeling, and you didn't know what it was. You're like, man, I just don't know, what that feeling was, and somebody from the audience goes, "Buck fever! It's buck fever."
That's right. I do remember that now. Yeah.
So buck fever was literally, he was one of our guys. Oh, wait, is this buck fever? Buck fever. How did you know about our Zoom call? Ted, do you see buck fever?
I saw somebody just join. Was that planned? I'll be honest, Barry. That was planned.
And buck fever has jumped into our Zoom call.
What's up, Ted?
Hey, man, I get a lot of stories around the country every year, but I forgot about buck fever until 10 seconds ago.
That's all right.
Did you remember this? You basically...
Hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get up from my chair. I'm going to walk over and I'm going to show you the buck. That's what I'm going to do.
That's awesome.
I'm going to show you the deer hanging on the wall. Here we go. Are you ready? I can only do this with churches in Texas.
I love it.
There he is.
Oh, yeah.
There he is.
From the picture? That's the deer?
That is the deer. That is the deer from the picture. You see him?
Man, I love it.
All right. That's him.
And so Ken has been forever known as buck fever. We wanted to give you that little treat. We thought you'd get a kick out of seeing buck fever again.
Man,
Ken, how you doing, man? You doing good?
I'm doing good. Thank y'all for having me. I'm going to have buck fever than corona fever right now.
Yeah, you're getting,
Man, it's 8 o'clock at night and you got on makeup for us.
Well,
I can't believe it.
It's turkey season right now. There's a such thing as turkey fever. So
hey, and let me tell you, I haven't had this type of call with California. I can tell you that right now. We released the deer in a forest preserve down the road. If anybody's watching,
just in case anybody wants to know.
That's right. We didn't kill any deer.
You didn't, none. Well, hey, we just wanted to do that with you real quick. Ken, thanks for hopping on, man. We appreciate it. I'm going to continue my interview with Ted, and we hope that you guys get to reconnect when Ted's back in Texas soon.
I love it.
Appreciate it, Ted. Great seeing you. You too, Barry. Y'all have a great night.
Thanks, Ken. Appreciate you. Have a good night.
Thanks for keeping your makeup on for us.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. I mean, one of the first things I'm encouraging couples to do is find space. Like I even say, go to your separate corners of the house, for a little bit each day. I don't know if you remember years ago, Dr. Dobson taught us all, when you go on a family vacation, even you should, if you're going on vacation for a week, you should take a little time on the trip to maybe do something different, then come back for dinner, especially if it's a large family.
Yeah.
And come back at dinner and share what you did, because that grind, even on a vacation, at the end of the week, you're like, I'm ready to get back to work. Well, think about what we've been doing for a month and a half, working from home, homeschooling our kids, not going out to dinner, not going to date nights, we take walks and do stuff outside. But the other thing I'm encouraging couples with is this is a time to get through the battle together.
Right.
There's a lot of lessons we need to learn right now. A lot of lessons we need to learn. The church needs to learn, couples need to learn, families need to learn. But I don't know if we need to be taught them right now, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Go through it. You're in the foxhole, you're on the front line, whatever analogy you would want to use. And I'm encouraging couples, journal the lessons you're learning.
Oh, that's good.
And we're going to teach the lessons later.
Yeah.
For example, I've been using this. If you didn't have an emergency fund before this hit and you got unemployed,
right,
you don't need to spend April having a conversation every day about the importance of an emergency fund. Right. Journal that. And when you get back to work, when the economy gets going again, then talk about, okay, before we go on a vacation, before we buy the next appliance, before we buy another car, before whatever, we're not doing anything until we have X amount of dollars in the bank.
Oh, that's great advice.
That's what we mean by waiting.
Right.
This isn't the time to be beating ourselves up for not being prepared for this. We'll get prepared for this in the future, but we need to be a team through this right now and get through this. Bottom line.
Right. And I think that you had mentioned when we had talked earlier in the week that maybe you also encourage them, hey, put off big decisions. This isn't the time to try to be moving, or this isn't the time to necessarily be trying to buy a new car. Put some of those big decisions off and use this time to communicate and talk about those big decisions for when that time comes. And this emergency fund, man, that's a great suggestion, to have some conversations during this time, and yet not make them be this big, long, deep, heavy thing. We did a post today on our Facebook page called Wedded Wednesday, where we're just encouraging them, guys, maybe you have to just lighten up a little bit. And that's why we love so much of your content. You can keep things light and yet it's relevant and quality stuff. One of the other things that I was going to ask you about, looking forward to your church when you are able to get back on campus, what encouragement are you giving to other pastors like myself about that first Sunday, that first month back?
Well, if it is with strict social distancing guidelines, we have on our board in our office where we have a socially distanced staff meeting periodically. We make it very clear that connection is more important than content right now.
Yes.
Churches are pushing out so much content, and it's good content. It's content
and I agree. I hear that.
Yeah. People, I'm a senior pastor, so I know I'm keeping this in front of myself. People want to see each other more than they want to see me.
They do.
I gotta be. I need them to know that's a good thing. We're gonna get back. I believe our churches are gonna be stronger than ever. I believe our core and committed in the church.
I do too, Ted.
Are gonna come back and say, if I was serving once a month, I'm all in. I'm ready to go. And I think there's a lot of gratefulness that's coming out. A lot of change, I know that.
Yes.
But there's a lot of gratefulness coming out of it, and people are longing to see each other. And that's what I encourage couples with right now. This is a time, when you're first dating, engaged, married, newlyweds, your quality time, communication is like breathing. It's very natural.
Mm-hmm.
But after you've been married for a while, what was once natural, you now have to make intentional.
Yes.
And if you make intentional what was once natural, it can feel natural again because it's just become a priority. And so,
amen.
I put all the focus on that right now.
Yeah.
For Amy and I. I'm just encouraging couples. This is the time to take the walks, to have the connection, fixing major things in your marriage. There's going to be a time for that.
Right.
But focus on the quality time, focus on the communication, focus on the connection.
Yeah.
Know what space you need and give each other the grace and freedom to experience that throughout all this time as well.
And maybe when you're ready, watch some quality content like Marriage Matters Weekend, or get a book called Fun Loving You and have some fun, right?
Or a new one. I got a new one called A Love That Laughs.
You got a new one.
The whole purpose of the book is just learning how to laugh and enjoy one another. And what I love about the book, it came out in February. It's all about finding your shared sense of humor. I think a lot of couples think, well, we got to become comedians if we're no, you don't have to become a comedian. You have to find your shared sense of humor, and every couple has a different sense of humor.
You know what? That's so true. I love that. So that book is out now, and people can get that book now.
Yep.
All right. Well, hey, Ted, I appreciate you taking the time to visit with us tonight. We're going to be in session number 3 on our YouTube premiere here shortly. And that's one of the things that we wanted to do tonight was talk a little bit about what you're doing and some of the things that you're seeing in marriage ministry. We're so incredibly thankful for you. And there's a group of pastors around the country that our hearts are knit together for marriage ministry. And really, honestly, you're one of the men that helps keep that heartbeat going, and we're thankful for you and the gifting that God has given you and all that you bring to marriage ministry. You're such an encouragement to the rest of us, and so we're really thankful for what you do. Matter of fact, we now have all the content from when you visited us on a new YouTube page, and our on-demand YouTube content now 24 hours a day at First Dallas Young Marrieds on YouTube. And so they'll get to see all your great content along with some other really great things that we want to equip them with. Well, hey, brother, I know that you have an early morning, so I don't want to keep you, but
you're good.
Thank you so much for visiting with tonight. I'm so glad you got to see Buck Fever again. He keeps asking me about you. He keeps asking me about you. But
that is great. That was a great little bonus.
He was awesome. He was awesome. Well, hey man, we wish you all God's best. We thank you so much for, again, all that you do. And we look forward to having you here back at First Baptist Dallas sometime soon.
Well, Barry, thank you. I love everything you're about, everything you've been teaching.
Thank you.
This is a time for the next couple of months. We've got to work through this and just continue to encourage. And I'm doing 3 things when I post. I want to make sure it's helpful, hopeful, and humorous, or one of the 3. It doesn't have to be all 3, but it has to fit in the category. Hope or humor. Yeah.
Brother, you have a great evening, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
All right. You guys have a great night.